she made her name. Investigate both sides of the argument, come up with your own conclusions.
Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Doxing LGBTQA teachers. Now she is part of Oklahoma's Department of Education. Chia Rechick, the once anonymous, now infamous founder of Libs of TikTok, was appointed to the Library Media Advisory Committee for Oklahoma's Department of Education. Despite Rechick having no experience in education, a top official in Oklahoma's Department of Education, Ryan Walters, highlighted Rechick for calling out the radical left and its woke indoctrination. Rechick made a name for herself in 2021 when she began doxing LGBTQA educators whom she alleged were grooming and indoctrinating children via her social media account Libs of TikTok. Her ex account now has 2.5 million followers. Libs of TikTok bread and butter is finding obscure videos of teachers or administrators and spreading their information online. Rechick also came under increased fire for digging up videos of these teachers and administrators' private lives and misrepresenting them. Videos of teachers expressing and talking about LGBTQA lifestyles were frequently misrepresented to fit Rechick's notion that children were being groomed in schools. The effects of Rechick's doxing have gone far beyond replies on X. Last August, a school in California was evacuated following a series of bomb threats after Rechick posted about it on X. In November, she went after a school in Iowa when a teacher there joked about forcing kids to be gay. That school had to up its security after a barrage of threats. In his announcement, Walters painted Rechick's past as an asset to Oklahoma's parents, saying, because of her work, families across the country know just what is going on in schools and around the country. Oklahoma's largest teacher union lambasted the move, saying that while the state has thousands of qualified applicants, Walters chose to appoint an out of state political actor with no expertise to OSDE's Library Media Advisory Committee. So yeah, so this chick who literally has no education experience, no affiliation whatsoever, gets to get this job as the Library Media Advisory Committee based on the fact that she does these libs of TikTok videos where she uses clips out of context to rile up the public, basically.
I mean, who's deciding if that is out of context? The people who's gotten accused, I'm assuming, because that's how they're going to present it, especially when they're doing things outside of school work or whatever that is questionable, and then there's things that's being presented in school that leans to the same type of idea. Then I would think that it would be the rational mind would see that that could be a problem. So they want people to you know irrationalize their thoughts to make things accommodating to people who are potentially a problem to our community, because like I have plenty of gay people that are gay, whether in my family, associates that I just know that would never dare to do any of those things because they have a certain decorum. Like they don't believe in having these discussions with children is the right thing to do. But there's some people who feel like that's their life aim, is that they need to bring this conversation to children because their parents won't let them, or because like it's really insane. It's a sickness that they have. And you know to put it on the whole community, I think might be reaching. But when we're talking about specific people who are definitely going out and doing these things, we we really have to do something about it. So whether she's earned this position because she's willing to use her time to expose this stuff, you can't be mad that somebody decided to hire her because she seems to be a good fit for something that they want to see in their community.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but what if these people
Uh-oh.
that she's picking on is not what she's saying they are, and she's using clips and out of stuff and editing them in a way to make it look a certain way so that people can click and
Either the
share.
clip shows it or not. That's the whole thing. Like, is she creating, like, is she editing and doing these things to make something look like something that is not really? Like, I mean, that's the part that I really would have to ask, because
Do
to me
people
that
not
makes
do
no sense.
that on the internet?
Is it the person that was in the video doing what they were doing or not?
I mean, or did the clip make it look like the person was doing something?
Well, I would have to see the clip, and I can usually determine, because of my professional background in media, that I could say, okay, now that's most likely a faulty clip, or something that was added that probably doesn't go. But other than that, I mean, I would think that a lot of people around, like a lot of people can do the same kind of uh, you know, can see the same types of things that I'm saying. Like, it's not really a special gift to be able to pinpoint some of these things. It just takes a
Let me
little, yeah,
let me
you can
read some
do it.
comments. Let me read some comments. It says this woman should be arrested for harassment instead of serving in an educational capacity. Another comment, it says, let's go, libs are crying right now and will reply to my comments saying how upset they are. Another one, it says, she was also calling bomb threats into schools. Why did you forget that part in the head on the headline? Another comment, it says, how is she not in jail? She is an actual threat to people's lives. Another comment, it says, a teacher once said, I can't get my students to remember to put their names on their papers. How could I possibly indoctrinate them with any additional agenda? And I think about that a lot.
Well, that's
Another
because there's going to be certain things that kids are going to be bored over, and some things that they're going to get be attracted to, because it is something outside of what they should be learning. And that's a part of nature too. So to even try to make that claim just shows how ignorant they really are about the way you know humans are.
Another comment says, in other countries, in order to be a member of a national entity in charge of education, you have to be either a certified teacher, professor, plus experience, plus having postgraduate courses and specializations in education. Helps a lot. Me myself, I'm a college professor with a degree in higher education and an LLM earned in Europe. I cannot understand how someone with no training in the sciences of education at all educational levels can be entrusted with such a government post dealing with education. A couple more.
Well, if we were if we look at some of the things we talked about in the last few months, they're actually looking at hiring people who don't have not been going to school for teaching, or they can gather a certification to begin teaching, as long as they fit other criteria that is suitable by that said school. So that could mean that, all right, there's going to be even less and less people who are professionals that know exactly how to teach, that won't be there because of that same system. But they're willing to make a conversation like this, and didn't have anything to say against that.
Yeah, I have a problem with that regardless on either side. So,
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Me too. But see, my thing is that as long as it fits their side, they'll let that other thing slide, even though it doesn't. That's the problem that I have, is because, look, I'm gonna call out BS wherever it is. I don't care who's presenting it, but I don't. Not everybody sees it that way, because it's just a total fight against the red or the blue.
another comment, it
That's
says, I
just the.
think It says, I think we're pretty much done as a serious country at this point. Another one that says, this person shouldn't be around kids, and she was calling in bomb threats too. Another one that says, odd because it seems to be the ones calling others grooming that are the groomers themselves. Another comment that says, this is absolutely ridiculous, but also on par for our country at the moment.
I can't believe that some people make some of the statements that they're grooming. How, like, somebody who's accusing someone of grooming is actually the groomers. Please, like, make sense of that. Like, some of these comments I would just skip over because they really don't make no sense. I mean, unless you're just trying to bring light to the idiocy that these people present. I mean, that's one thing. But some of these conversations just, I mean, these comments don't really make sense.
Well, it does. I mean, well, I like to be fair when I'm reading the comments. That's why I try not to. Sometimes, if it's
Well,
all
no,
the
no,
way ridiculous, I'll skip it. But when you're in a relationship with somebody and someone is calling, they're saying that you're cheating, they're always like uh, really restrictive and trying to keep you like watching you when you're on your phone and stuff like that. Like these
hmm
people tend to be the ones that's cheating. It's like when the one who says someone is lying all the time, they're always saying
hmm
somebody is lying. They tend to be the person that lies a lot. That is how it works. Absolutely.
Well, and I agree that that happens in some cases, but when you're trying to generalize that in a situation like this, most people who's calling out a groomer is totally against it and not doing that.
Natural body or a BBL? BBL. 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 BBL.